When you're thinking about Brent's possible involvement, connection to this case, these circumstances, or lack of, do you think about who he was as a person? I couldn't really find any pictures of him when I was researching this case. 2 or 3. A man with troubles who dealt with life on his own, in his own ways, and on his own terms. Everything is communicating something. Yo, man, y'all gonna hear me say that I put up a post, man, on Twitter and on the YouTube community tab, asking you guys for your opinions about the Brent K situation. And true to form, I didn't get most of the responses until after I recorded this audio. So, I see some very interesting questions, man, that may have me thinking and made me question some things more. I'll still be honest, I didn't see anything that made me change my thoughts about this case that you're about to hear, but it may not be my last time at least talking about this situation. But you guys did, ask some very interesting questions that I didn't get until I had already recorded this audio that I have no interest in going back and re-recording. So we're just gonna get to this. Maybe we'll talk about it again later, man. Everybody has their opinions. I hope you enjoy it. Innocent until, my people. Oh, man, listen, if you follow me on Twitter, I apologize, man. I've been irritable lately, and sometimes I'm more reserved, but sometimes I'm just not in the mood. I be cutting up, man. How you guys doing, man? It is a warm day in Miami, Florida, 89 degrees. Very hot outside, man. It usually is. I'm back and forth about making this video, man. Shout out to Miss J. I want to get that out of the way. I can't remember verbatim how she phrased it, but maybe she just simply asked me what my thoughts were on Brent Kopacka. Let's go ahead and, say we're going to call him Brent K. We can't call him BK because I'm not totally sold out to the initial posse. Also, that would probably just be more confusing than anything. But we're just going to call him Brent K so I don't butcher his last name. Somebody mentioned that in the last video in the comments. They were like, you can say Steve Goncalves' name. And I just had to, let them know. Like, if you don't watch my videos, man, I butcher somebody's name in a minute. Hell, watch the videos. You're going to hear me butcher words. I just get so excited. I just start saying any damn thing. Sometimes I correct myself. Sometimes I don't. So as it pertains to people's names, sometimes I'll just abbreviate the last name, you know what I mean? So I don't come off like I'm just being disrespectful, man. Respect, man, I'm one of those dudes, man. I cannot tell you how valuable, important, priority respect is to me. I am that type. I'm that stereotype of dude. When it comes to respect, I don't play. You see what I'm saying? That's just the bottom line. Shout out my grandmother, my father, my mother, my aunts, uncles, everybody who raised us. That's just something that's part of my personality. And it comes naturally, and it also comes from, my upbringing, and it also obviously comes from me being a Christian. Respect is a very high principle in my faith. With that being said, let me also just say this, some things I need to stop saying sometimes. But I'm telling you, when I see things, it bothers me because my personality is so, Tupac said it, man. He said, my thoughts are so different than from what's normal. I expect, like the dichotomy, man. Stop right here if you don't want to watch my videos, man. I do not send my videos to people, bro. Like, I don't mind people just don't. Somebody said in the comments, I'm going to share your video, man. Thank you, damn it. Share it. I don't say that in my videos. I don't tell y'all to like, subscribe, but damn it, if you're going to share it, shout out to you. Of course, I want the content to get out there. I think there are things going on in this community, from my videos and then from the commentary that's created in the comment section that people might benefit from being exposed to, not just because of me, but because of what comes from it, from all of us. So of course I want you to share it. I'm never telling anybody don't share it, but I don't share it, guys. I don't bombard y'all. I don't tag y'all in my YouTube videos and my comments. I put it on my platforms. I share it where I share it. Brian Enton pissed me off. I go in his comment section because one of y'all commented on his Twitter feed, and then so it shows up in mine, and then I don't necessarily care for him and add, the people. I don't like them. They probably won't like me if they knew me either. But since I see it, like, let me go ahead and weaponize your audience. You know what I mean? That I share it like that, but I don't go to people's personal pages like, yo, look, I share it in public groups and stuff. You see what I'm saying? So I just need y'all to know, man. If this comes off as arrogant, I'm sorry. That's something else I said. My brain works so differently, and I'm so straightforward. I spend a lot of time prefacing, letting people know I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful. I'm just a straightforward ass person. That's just who I am. I prefer respect. Didn't I just say that? I prefer hospitality, but I'm straightforward, and those things don't have to be, they don't have to be on a different side of the coin. They can be in the same venue. You know what I'm saying? I could be straightforward and be respectful and be hospitable at the same time. But we live in such a sensitive generation where people are so accustomed and more comfortable with beating around the bush that I'm always finding myself super prefacing the fact that, hey, yo, I ain't trying to be disrespectful. I'm just straightforward. So respectfully and straightforwardly, don't watch my damn videos if you don't want to. Don't that's just the bottom line. I don't beg nobody. You don't never see me doing stuff like that. I put the content out there and I let God do the work. And now certain of you, y'all migrated here, you always come in and you hear me saying in videos, and I'm going to show you my gratitude, because my gratitude is as genuine as anything else that I'm talking about. But do that because you want to. Don't do that because you watched a few, you started watching a few, I commented, I thanked you, I gave you the black heart and the praying hand sign, and now you feel like you gotta come back. Listen, man, respectfully, man, don't do that. Don't do that, because you're gonna make me say something that you are gonna be offended by. Don't do that, because you offend me when you talk like you got it. Don't do that, man. That's offensive to me, because I go out of my way to say, yo, I go out of my way to not bombard people with my content, and I go out of my way to let you know I'm not bombarding you with my content. If you get my content, if you found my platform, it happened organically, because that's how I prefer relationships. I don't got time for small talk. I don't got time for feeble relationships, on or offline. If it's not organic and genuine and real, outside of obligation, some sense of obligation, I don't want it, even if you do and you think I do. Let me get that out of the way, man. And I don't mean to offend anybody, whatever, bro. I just don't. I'm me, and I gotta be me. It's hard for me to make, these videos, man, because even if I wanted to just put content out there and flood people with content, it's just not. Didn't I literally just say I gotta be me? It's not my personality, man. I get involved in things that I care about, that my heart pushes me towards. And if you watch me, I'll always, how you know it's true, I'll always start a video off like this, and then before the video is gone, I'm raging. My fire is raging. Y'all know it. I'm be talking calm, monotone tones or whatever, low tones, and next thing you know, I'm gonna be up here. And that's because my heart is really connected to these things. And so my heart isn't connected to just putting out content, especially when we're talking about tragedy, people losing their lives, how that affects loved ones who are left to deal with that. I cannot be these damn YouTubers, guys. That's why I don't watch. I can't, as much as part of me tickles to watch Steve G's new interviews, I can't. And it's not even because of him. If you're confused about where I stand with Steve G, I don't know how else. I think I'm very clear when I talk too. Not only am I straightforward, I think I'm articulate as well. Maybe I'm just giving myself too much credit there. I'm confused about the man. I don't know. Just like I'm confused about Brent K. I don't know. I'm confused about a lot of this, and I'm not too prideful to tell you I am, because damn it, I definitely don't have the answer. So I'm just speculating and giving my opinion based on what's presented like everyone else. I'm gonna read a few things to y'all before we actually get into the Brent K topic. But damn it, I can't just be making videos and I can't watch these YouTubers, because I'm knowing when I watch Steve G, I've been doing this for too long. I've seen it too long. I've seen the exposure too long. Honest people talk about it honestly too often. I know 9 times out of 10, the platformer, the content creator, is going to be biased. They're going to be pushing a particular narrative. If I were to interview Steve G, man, I promise you, God, unless God forced me to do something else, I'll be compassionate, but I'll be straightforward with him. I would say the same things I'm saying in my videos in the most compassionate and respectful ways that I can. Like, big homie, I understand, man, you lost your daughter. I don't want to underemphasize that. And then on the other side of that coin, we got some questions, bro. Like, you got some questions, we got some questions too. And even though it wasn't our daughter, and for most of us, it wasn't even our relative or loved ones, some of us just have a genuine concern and compassion for humanity, for people. So we do care like you care, bro. We just didn't have that real life connection with your daughter and these victims and victims of other crimes. But we care. That's why we spend so much time talking about them, speculating about them, debating about them and stuff, because we do care, bro. So that means we do have some questions for you too. And I would ask him that. I wouldn't be biased in my coverage, and I'm expecting, knowing how YouTubers are and true crime is, that's for the true crime audience, bro. It's not for me. So I probably would watch like one of those interviews, man, whether it was on 48 Hours or whoever else's channel. I'm not trying to call no names because, once again, I'm not trying to be disparaging or disrespectful. I watch 5 to 10 minutes of it and I'll be done with it because I can't deal with the foolishness, bro. If you're going to cover something, do it something like this, something so sensitive. Do it because you care, not for clicks and views and to monetize it, not for capitalism. And if you care, then you're going to actually show you care and you're going to be concerned. You're going to be on top of your own personal biases. You think I don't have biases that I have to check? I do. I just told y'all, yo, I've been irritable this week. I've been showing my on Twitter. You know, if you missed that, I've been showing my beat on Twitter. And it's because I've been letting my biases drive more than I've been letting my sensibility drive. So, you know, I've been showing out a little bit. Then I'm aware of that, and then I check myself and be like, all right, bro, like, it's not even necessarily what you're saying or doing is wrong. It's the way you're going about it. There's a better way. So, you know what I mean? If you really mean it and your heart is really in it, don't you want to do it the better way? It goes for myself. That goes for all of us, man. So I'm saying that to say that's how I will approach this Brent K topic. I don't just create content because I want clicks and views, bro. I don't create content because I got to get a certain amount of followers. I want to make a certain amount of dollars, man. I do it because I really care. That's the heart that God has given me. And so that's how I'm going to talk about this Brent K thing. Once again, shout out to Miss J because she put this on my radar. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't do a whole lot of researching. I would have to go and listen to all those YouTubers. 1,000 of them have made videos about them. I've heard and delved into some of them as much as I could. I could call some names, but I won't. But I just did my kind of research. I just did an overview research, and I'm going to tell you what I found. But first, let me read a few things, man, because we got to remember we're talking about real people, not characters, bro. So let me read a couple of things, and then we're going to get into my thoughts about this situation. I'm reading this from snbc13.com, man. It says, who was Brent K? October 4th, 1986 saw the birth of Brent Lee K. His father, they put something else first. I'm going to put father first. John F. K. His mother, Darcy Nixon. His stepfather, David Nixon. Like, they literally got his stepfather before his father. I'm not getting into that bush. Why would you? I'm not getting into that. His stepmother, Dawn K. all cherished him as their son. Start there. I think I got 5 siblings too. Tori, Zachary, Ethan, Evan, Elwin. Is that 5? If it ain't, I can't count. Charge me for it. Start there, guys. This is somebody with a real family. They walk, they talk, they breathe. Start there. Start there. He was born October the 4th, 1986. From 2005 until 2009, Brent proudly served in the U.S. Army in the 4th Brigade Combat Team, 82nd Airborne Division, 2nd Battalion, 508th Parachute Infantry Regiment. For his participation in Operating Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan. I had to look that up. It's basically like the war in Afghanistan, but they also, according to the internet now, I wasn't there, fought in some other places, you know what I mean, after the 9/11 attacks, I think. No, like I say, correct me when I'm wrong. After, well, it says from 2005, so maybe it was before and after. But it was definitely in Afghanistan and then some other places. And the internet says that Barack Obama ended this war in 2014. But anyway, Brent received the Purple Heart. So I'm not a military guy. And I look at the military like I look at cops. You don't just get a service. When I see military people out here in society, they got on their military gear unless they're absolute assholes, which I've ran into at least one. I thank them for their service. You know what I'm saying? I literally say that. But I'm also conscious of the fact that, like cops, just because you got served in the military don't mean you like a person that deserves respect. You don't think people sign up for the military just for career opportunities and the same reason other people get jobs because they need a check? Everybody isn't doing it because they have a valiant heart, male or female. So for me, once again, while some people just be like, because you're in this arena, I'm going to give you this honor. For me, I'm more like, hey, who are you as a person? Do you deserve to be honored? And if so, I definitely want to give you that respect and honor. But you don't get it just because you chose a particular career path. That's just not how my mind works. I don't mean no disrespect, but I meant what the hell I said. But I don't know enough about military to know, like, I know the Purple Heart is special, but I don't know like the specifics of what it means, you know what I mean? But it goes on to say Brent demonstrated his loyalty to the people of our country and his selflessness by volunteering to serve in the United States Army during times of conflict. That's who he was. That's who he was in 2 short paragraphs, and that culminated on December the 15th, 2022, when he was identified by authorities as the man shot and killed. Well, yeah, December the 15th. He was identified as the man shot and killed, man. And I guess that was in Pullman. Let me read this final. I got some more to read, but we're going to stretch it out over the end, right? I'm going to read some more at the end, Lord willing. Let me read this final comment because I put it on YouTube, right? I'm doing my research. And part of the research is, hey man, tell me what you guys think about Brent K. Tell me what you guys think about his unfortunate demise. Tell me what you think about his possible connection or non-connection to the Idaho 4 case and Brent Kopacka. Tell me what you think. I want to get your guys' thoughts. You usually know more than I do, and I want to incorporate that into my research and my knowledge. So right before I started this video and prepped to do this video, Joey P Drunk 8217. You can go to the community tab where I put up the post that starts with rest in peace Brent K, prayers for his loved ones, an hour ago now, and it is now 9:15:23, 3:29 in Miami, so whatever time it is where you at. You can go to that post on the community tab and see what I'm about to read, because this guy makes so much damn sense. If I was gay, I would kiss him, but I'm heterosexual and I still want to find my Cinderella. No matter, she ain't gotta be whatever. All right. Hey, Joey, man, this is one of the best damn comments. I'm going to say top 10, but I damn near want to say top 5 comments I've seen on my platforms, not just YouTube, platforms. So thank you, sir, for making this damn comment, and shout out to you because all of us need to hear it. Let's go. So far, I'm quoting already. This is Joey's words, not mine. As we know, there's absolutely nothing that ties him, being Brent K, to the crime or puts him at the scene. Red herring unless some factual evidence comes out. Whole quotes. I need y'all to pay attention to all of this stuff that this man is about to say. We're back to the quotes. There were 2 people that can be placed at the crime scene at the exact time, parentheses, S, time or times, of the crimes. They were there immediately preceding and for 8 hours after, giving them plenty of time to clean up and stage the scene, yet they were almost immediately cleared. And we know they were miraculously spared and yet didn't call 911 ever. This is his quotes. And Dylan's story not only changed, but it directed law enforcement's narrative completely. The coroner stated they don't know the order in which they were killed or the exact times of death because of the delays in examinations of the bodies. DM and BF, Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk, I'm not scared to say their names, and I pretty much think I know how to pronounce them, are the absolute best suspects in this crime and are already criminal in non-reporting. I want to repeat that. Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk are the absolute best suspects in this crime and are already criminal in non-reporting. Stop quotes right there. Because some people, the Pillow Princess Protection Agency will hear that he said they did the crime. You've never found me on, that was the title of my first video in my true crime platform, which you're listening to right now, Innocent Until, and that was my first video. The roommates were always the best suspects. But because they're so wicked and biased in their minds, what they hear is us saying that the roommates committed the crimes. We don't know that, but we're talking about who is in line to be the best people to be attached to these horrors, this tragedy that happened. Damn it, it's the 2 people that were there, that all of this that he's about. Put the quotes back. Shut the hell up. Don't get loud and passionate yet, sir. Don't do that. Just put the quotes back. I'm going to start where I left off. Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk are the absolute best suspects in this crime and are already criminal in non-reporting. I agree. If they didn't do it themselves, they are complicit in the crimes, which is still capital murder. Accessory. Basically, that answers most of all of the questions surrounding this case, and I bet were they placed in a jail cell for non-reporting and the strong circumstantial case against them changed, we'd get to the bottom of it real quick. Brian K is obviously a frame and there's no case against him. We got our different opinions about that. This is his. You let the facts and the evidence determine the case and lead you to a suspect, not the other way around. I want to repeat that, guys. You let the facts and evidence determine the case and lead you to a suspect, not the other way around. You let the facts and evidence determine the case and lead you to a suspect, not the other way around. He got about 2 more sentences in here, but that's so perfect. I'm going to stop right there and get into my thoughts about Brent K. Shout out to Miss J again. Shout out to all of y'all. You let the facts and the evidence determine the case and lead you to the best suspects, not the other way around, guys. What facts do we have that Brent is tied to this case? This is why I cannot just make videos. You think I couldn't be insert name, and just come on here and speculate and talk? I talk too damn, but in real life, I really don't talk as much. I talk to you guys. But I'm saying I can talk, man. Can't you tell in the videos I can run my damn mouth? I can run, I can talk. So you think I just couldn't come on here and create video? Not only that, let's just talk practically here. After a while, you're gonna realize, man, this dude's just making content. He just won't, you know what I mean? And some of you like that. Some of you like, I'm not knocking you if that's what you like. I like the things I like. Hold on, sips of water. That's so damn good. I like water. When I go to the coffee shop or any restaurant, I like I bring Lysol wipes with me. Sometimes Lysol spray. I like wiping the entire area that I'm gonna come in contact with, meaning the place I'm gonna sit in, the table that I'm gonna eat at. I like wiping that down. It's not enough for me that the server comes and says, hey, I'll do that, or I did that, I already did that. Okay, thank you. I appreciate what you did, but for my comfortableness, I wanna wipe it down with my cleaning agents. I like a lot of things that y'all probably wouldn't like. So I'm not mad that you just like I don't mean any disrespect when I say this, the gossipy element of true crime. I'm not mad about that. Matter of fact, wasn't I supposed to read something else? I was. I think I'll take it, leave it at the end. I'm not mad that you like that, but damn it, I like Andy Griffith. I like Phineas and Ferb. Damn it, I ain't watched no movies in like 2 years, and when I took my break last week, I watched like 2 of them, Film Noir. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, and I liked them. But do I think people just running in the banks and shooting people and ain't no blood or nothing nowhere else and the person falling back in the air and dying? Do I think it's 2 little kids somewhere building anything that comes to their imagination? No, I can separate my entertainment preferences from reality, guys. And that's just when it's about entertainment. Last time I checked, most of the people speculating about this case are adults. Can I ask you a simple question, adults? Can I ask you a serious question? Are you able to separate your entertainment preferences from reality when we're talking about real life tragedy? Okay, I'm going to ask that again. Are you able to separate your entertainment preferences from reality, specifically when we're talking about real life tragedy? Because I don't want to offend you, but I'll be looking at the landscape and I'll be wondering if some of us do. We take the entertainment aspect of this too far. You don't know. And that's the thing. I don't know. Do you watch my videos? Is this going to be your first time hearing me say I speculate as much as anybody else? But some of us take our speculation too far and we get to slandering people. And damn it, you mad because they slandering Brent K, but you over here slandering other people that you clearly don't know are guilty. You have let your entertainment preferences bleed into your damn reality and you grown as hell. So when are you going to stop treating people like you don't want people treating the people that you prefer? This has like been the theme of my last 3-4 videos. Let me read what he said again, man. Just that one sentence, because that was enough and the video could have cut off there when you asked me, what do I think about any aspect of this case? Whether it be Brian, whether it be the Utah police, the Moscow PD, the state police, the feds, Ann Taylor, the University of Idaho, the WSU, insert whatever. What do I think about the case? My thoughts about anything about this case right now summed up perfectly in this sentence that Joey said. You let the facts and the evidence determine the case and lead you to a suspect, not the other way around. Our speculation ain't facts. You watch my content. If you don't, go back and watch it. But if you do, you know what I say. I'm a facts person. And facts are facts. Facts don't change depending on how we feel about them. Whether we know them now or discovered them in the past, facts do not change. Even if they're undiscovered, there's a lot of the facts in this case right now to a lot of us are undiscovered, but they've been facts since they became factual. That's what determines what's going on in this case, not our damn entertainment preferences and speculation about real tragedy. Brent, didn't I start this? I told you who he was. He got like 5 siblings. He got a father and a mother and 2 step-parents, and all of them loved the hell out of him. He was a serviceman who received an award for his service, an award that he was fighting, whether he did it because he had a valiant heart or did it because he needed a damn paycheck because he has responsibilities. He did it because even working because you need a paycheck and you have responsibilities is valiant. So he deserves the respect of knowing that he was human. And then you hear the other part of the story where his family says he had PTSD that he had been battling for 14 to 15 years. Don't quote me on the time. When we're thinking through these damn things, are we thinking about the humanity of it? It's so much that I be wanting to say, but once again, I'm so straightforward. I know, just calm down a little bit, pull back a little bit, and think of the best way to present it, man. Like I said, I've been, a little irritable on Twitter. I don't want to run y'all off, but damn it, you can come to me and say anything. I ain't gonna be like, oh, you hurt my feelings. I'm gonna go to the next YouTube channel. That is childish as hell to me. You might have needed to hurt my feelings for me to grow my ass up. But since I know my encounter with human beings is most people don't think like that, you gotta treat grown-ass adults like they kids in diapers and be like, okay, chill out. Let me see how I can say this to these kids in diapers. You let the facts lead you to a suspect, not the other way around. Let's get to some of these notes I took about Brian, man. You know, Brent. He threatened to kill his 2 roommates. Now, when I'm thinking about all of this, I'm thinking about what happened. I got it from the news reports and stuff. I didn't really watch many of those. 1,000 YouTubers making videos and they speculating, but they're gonna lead you to think that they're gonna tell you they speculating, some of them, but they're gonna lead you to think that their speculations are facts. And some of them ain't even gonna tell you they speculating. They're gonna act like their speculations are facts. Whatever they could be saying, he's involved or he's not involved. They're gonna say it like they know it's facts, or they're gonna say it like, yo, I'm speculating, but it's facts. I'm just reading it like, yo, this is what's out there, and this is what I think about it. A 36-year-old service veteran who his parents and friends will say he's suffering from PTSD. So we arrive at this night when someone calls 911. And let's just pick up from where he threatened to kill his 2 roommates. But then the next portion of the story, what that pertains to, is his 2 roommates got out safely. The 2 roommates that this at least partially begin with, that he was threatened to kill with this gun. We got a gun situation, the cops say. They got out safely, unharmed. But he was threatening to kill them. The SWAT team was dispatched. Early on, when I wasn't diving down this rabbit hole, because I'm not a rabbit hole person, I want to wait and see what makes its way to the top at trial. I was seeing people, when they were talking about this, was like, and it's a fair question. I'm not saying this disparagingly, because I wondered it. When I seen the question, I was like, well, that makes sense. Why was a WSU officer on the scene first and foremost, and why did the WSU officer was the one that pulled the trigger? Well, if the police officers are right? The one in charge who did the press conference. I wasn't there. I don't know. I don't work for any law enforcement agencies in the area. But if he's telling the truth, guys, if you don't already know this, and it makes sense to me, I can't verify, but it makes sense to me. If you don't already know this, the reason that a WSU officer was on the scene and ended up being the one pulled the trigger is because a SWAT unit was dispatched to that scene that day, guys. And that SWAT unit is made up of law enforcement officers from the Whitman County Sheriff's Office, the Pullman Police Department, and the WSU Police. So the SWAT unit was dispatched to the scene. And that SWAT unit isn't just made up of one law enforcement agency. So that's why he was there. It makes sense to me, guys. It's not the first time I've heard that they got law enforcement departments made up of different law enforcement agencies. It answers the question for me. It's not, because some people, like I say, when I seen the question first presented, even myself, I was like, well, damn, that do make sense. What the hell is going on here? I had some questions about this Brent K thing to myself. But once I did even just a little research in it to make this video, I'm like, I can really stop here because I don't really see a need to keep looking into this. This is my opinion. Doesn't make anything I'm saying right or factual. It's just my opinion. But that answers that question according to that law enforcement supervisor or manager, and it makes sense to me because I've known this to be true before. Once again, that there are police departments, law enforcement departments that are made up of different law enforcement agencies. It's just how things work. I had this question though, who called the police? Because in my little research, maybe you guys can answer this for me. And I don't know if it's very significant or not, because hell, if I see something going on right now, I might call the police. Is it significant? It might be 10 people out here that call the police if we see something going on. Like, we just seen something going on, you call the police like you're supposed to. So I don't know if that's significant, but it was something that, popped out to me that I wasn't able to get an answer to. Another thing that popped out to me, the reporting in my research, maybe you guys, you've done way more research about this than I have. You can answer this question. One report was that he was shooting in the apartment, and then another report that he was shooting actually outside of the apartment. So basically, you're firing your gun, but the shots, you're firing it inside, so none of the shots are leaving the apartment or the location, versus you firing the gun outside and the shots are leaving. But there were 2 different reports, and I never, got the answer to that question. Both of them being serious, in my estimation, one of them much more serious. You know what I mean? What else do I have here? Why did they shoot him? Why did they kill him? Number one, let me say something, man. That was a hell of a shot. that was a hell of a shot, because it looked like the scene happened at nighttime to me. So I'm always open to correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I be listening to my videos back sometime, and especially the ones that I actually do production in. I always listen to them back, you know what I mean? Because sometimes I say things I ain't got no damn business saying, or just stupid stuff when I get to rambling or get passionate. So I try to edit that out. But I always listen to them back. But sometimes when I listen to them back, it's like I've said things that like it's just not true. You see what I'm saying? And I've done so much editing, I leave it in there, not because I'm trying to mislead people, but I make it a point to say in every one of my videos, this is just my opinion. Correct me when I'm wrong. I verbally, literally say, correct me when I'm wrong. And a lot of times you guys do in the comments, you know what I mean? And you do it very kindly, so I appreciate that. So correct me if I'm wrong, damn it, but it looked like it was at night. So I know they got night vision and heat sensors and all this Phoenix and Ferb stuff, but if they pull that shot off at night without me being able to visualize the scene, that was a hell of a shot. But, and I say that understanding, man, that sounds inconsiderate as hell, considering what the shot did. So I want to apologize for that. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, like, damn, you were able to shoot somebody at night like that? Damn, homie. It's not the first time I heard of something like this. I'm not going to get into it, but, I recently detailed how I met a law enforcement supervisor here, lieutenant in Miami. Randomly met him, and he left law enforcement. He couldn't take it anymore because of the corruption, but I got the rough draft of a story he's writing about the incident that finally was the catalyst of him leaving, where his partner murdered a man, and then they all lied about the guy having a gun to cover for the cop, and then they killed the guy. He told me how things like that happen very often, and the cops will go out later and celebrate, like they didn't just take a human life. But the thing about it is that situation happened at night. So like I said, I know they got all kind of equipment so they can pull things off, but I would just say put yourself in that mindset again on Wednesday night, man. The things that stuck out to me were, I know what it's like to be a man and to deal with emotional damage, emotional stress, emotional strain, and just to have people to tell you, like, we created terms for it, man up, you know what I mean? Like, don't be human about it. You're a man, deal with it, you know what I mean? So it's like you get into a situation where either you don't have anybody to talk to about your emotional turmoil, or the people that you're going to avail your distress to are going to downplay it and make you feel stupid about it. So it's like, why even bring it up? You know what I mean? Because that just makes it worse. So I don't know what this guy was going through. I don't even know if his family and friends are telling the truth. I'm definitely not calling them liars. But I don't know what he's going through, and I don't know if they're telling the truth when they say he struggled with PTSD, but they definitely seem to be. And based on what he had been through and what he experienced in life and his career path, it's not hard to imagine that he had. And being a man and knowing that I've dealt with, things personally and had no outlets, and I counsel men who feel the same way. Like, there are many more men that I talk to that feel like that than anybody else. Hell, Dave Chappelle even said it. And who doesn't love Dave Chappelle? But he was like, well, it was Chris Rock. Who doesn't love Chris Rock too? He was like, everybody gets sympathy, even dogs, children, women, dogs, everybody gets sympathy, but men are just utilized. I'm not saying that like, oh, woe is us, feel sorry for us. I'm just giving you a real reality, painting a picture for you how that man could have ended up in a situation where he was like, yo, let me take the way out that I feel easiest. Because I don't know if I've heard many people talking about this. I'm sure people have considered it. He may have just, decided to go suicide by cop. That might have been what happened there. It might have not had anything to do with the Idaho 4 case. Hell, he could be the Idaho 4 killer. Let me get that out there before you guys think I'm not considering that too. He could have partnered with Brian to do it. He could have partnered with the university, and Brian ain't got nothing to do with it. He could have partnered with the possibilities, guys. And in those possibilities, it could be totally unrelated. And this was a guy who was just struggling through life, and he didn't have any more answers. But what happened that night? So you go there. And what we do with police is we give them, they're police. I've done this myself. We give them more benefit of the doubt than they deserve. They got the badge, they got the uniform. Dude, anybody with sense to tell you, these people, the police, no disrespect to them, man. Shout out to you for your service if you're a good cop. You know what I'm about to say, though. So no disrespect to you, but you know what I'm about to say is true. The ones that we see on a daily basis, guys, they are the lowest ones on the totem pole. That's just the bottom line. I'm sorry. They the new guy at the job that you can get to do any damn thing because you don't want to do. You can trick them into doing your job. That's who they are. But to us, and because we believe this, they get to present like this, like they're more than they actually are. They're not. Some of them are specialized, but the guys that we see, the men and women that we see on a daily basis, as it pertains to law enforcement officers, they are the Lord's ones on the totem pole. But our minds are brainwashed, so when we see them, we just give them more benefit of the doubt than they deserve. I'm saying that to say, from the law enforcement aspect, maybe they just panicked, guys. Maybe that's why they shot him. I'm going to talk about him too, but maybe that's why they shot him. Maybe they just panicked. They had an active shooter. They had 4 murders that just happened that was, horrible tragedy, a horrific scene, a gruesome scene that was yet unsolved at this time. Am I correct? Like at this time, because Brian and his father mentioned it on a traffic stop later, so Brian hadn't been arrested. They didn't, even if they were already looking at Brian in the public's eyes, this hasn't been solved. So now they worried about, damn it, we got this going on. People already don't want to come to the college or may not want to come to the college. Now we got this going on, and the guy's either shooting inside the house or shooting outside the house. We can't have him kill any more citizens, because then the public gonna be on our ass about why we didn't take him out of it. It's kind of like, for them, you could see how it could be a damned if I do, damned if I don't situation. And then if they're undertrained and they don't have what we give them the benefit of the doubt that they have, because if you listen to police talk when they're not pretending to be the heroes, you will hear them say, we're understaffed and undertrained. Hell, most of them go to training for like 6 months or something. It's a very small amount of time to do what they have to do in life. They don't be knowing the laws. Y'all know I cop watch. The average auditor and cop watcher knows the laws better than the police that are riding around supposedly who took an oath to protect and serve, protecting our neighborhoods. I'm just being honest with you. They have to take an oath to honor the Constitution, which is our laws. And the average auditor and cop watcher knows that better than the average police officer on the street. So I'm just putting all this together and saying you got a lack of training. They might have been over. I don't know any of this. I'm just giving another aspect in the fact that this man and his situation is tied to the Idaho 4, which I'm going to go ahead and get it out there. I don't think it has anything to do with it. Because like Jesse said, you go where the facts lead you, not where your damn entertainment purposes lead you. The facts still say, no matter how much speculation that we put into this case, Jack flew to Africa, the rabbit pissed in the garden. Out of none of that, the facts are still, it was 2 damn people in that house. I don't give a damn that they were female. They didn't do a damn thing. They didn't call the police till later. It said, why in the hell do we factually look over? Why don't we got a billion videos about them? Because damn it, that's where the facts point to. Like Jesse said, you go where the facts point. You not the other way around. You don't build speculation and then go in that direction. That's crazy as hell. Whose mind does that make sense in? We really shouldn't be talking about nothing but Dylan and Bethany, to be honest with you. Speculation is okay. I speculate as much as anybody else. But damn it, we don't. That too we should have. Why don't we? Did you watch my last video? This gender that keeps us from actually caring about humans. That too we should have 1,000 videos about, whether we're saying they're guilty or not. How in the hell aren't they the best suspects? We skip over all of that, even the ones who don't believe Brian is guilty. We still skip over those, and we still find all these other damn, bro. Back to Brent, man. Because I tell you, it don't be making sense to me. And Jesse just reminded me of it, because damn it, I damn near done forgot about him. You go where the facts lead you. And the facts still say listen, cuz, back to Brent. So maybe the police just like, they got all this going on. We can't have another tragedy. They're going to be on our head if we don't get them. While over here, he's shooting in or out of the house. Guys, let me tell you something, bro. I don't play with guns. Rest in peace to this young man, 36. Sir, I don't play with, you're not even going to pull your gun out around. You might end up dead pulling your gun out around me during the confrontation. Not during the confrontation, you might end up dead. Me and my brother was just talking about, the partner in the coffee shop was just talking about this. I don't play with guns. So however that situation unfolded, we out here on the heels of a quadruple murder that is in the public's eyes yet as unsolved. Now we got a guy in the house that threatened allegedly to kill his roommates, but they walked out safely, so you know he ain't really serious about that. I mean, you got to kind of speculate he ain't serious about that. He let him leave safely if it happened like that. And now we're hearing shots, and we don't know if the shots coming out of the house or in the house, which that very well may be what Brent wanted. Because in his mind, he could have just been thinking, this is my way out. That's kind of how I see that situation, guys. And I'm not even saying that the cops were undertrained or anything like that, but in this situation, I'm a cop watcher. I'm more suspicious of cops than anything. But in this situation, I don't see any conspiracy here. I see a volatile situation where it's very possible they didn't even want to do it, but damn it, when you tie my hands, where I'm gonna go with them? I hear shots, you shooting, you already threatened to kill people. What the hell do you want me to do? Just wait until you actually kill somebody? So now the influencers and all the damn entertainment preferences people versus actual compassion for humanity people can say we didn't kill you soon enough. What do you want the cops to do? Kill them? So now you can act like it got something to do with the Idaho 4 murders? Maybe it does. But where are your facts at? That's all I'm asking, respectfully and kindly. What else I got, man? I really think that's it, guys. I really think that's all I have, man. I knew that this video wasn't going to be much when I started researching this story because there was just nothing there. There was nothing there. This seemed to be a troubled man. And for me, the lesson in the Brent story, before we just speculate and act like maybe he had something to do with the Idaho 4 slaying, for me, the better story would be, are there any men in your life who may be struggling, and women too? But I gotta be honest with you, I see this happen more with men. Men are the ones who are told to man up. I've never heard anybody say woman up. Are there men in your life who may be struggling and who you are supposed to be an outlet for, and who if they died today, you would be like devastated and brokenhearted, but like right now, in reality, they can't even avail their distress to you because you downplay it or you won't listen? Are there men in your, do you have a Brent in your life who might be, and I don't have any facts that Brent did this too, but y'all speculating, why can't I, who may be about to choose suicide by cop because he simply can't get you to listen to his distress? That's how I be looking at the Idaho 4 case, and I meant to say this in my last video and I didn't. That's why I always try to draw things back to what we can personally affect. I guarantee you, man, we just making content and talking about it on YouTube and Twitter and wherever you at, TikTok, wherever you go, Reddit, wherever you go. Not many of us are actually going to, besides our prayers, have a real-time effect on what happened in Idaho or any of these crimes that we hear about online. But you know where you can have a real-time effect? In your personal life. Let these situations speak to you about how you could be a better person and a more compassionate and loving and caring person in your personal life. Do that where you can make real change, and that's what I be trying to communicate in my videos. Care about what's happening in the world. Absolutely care about what's happening in the world, but also care where you can make real change, and that's in your life with the way that you treat people and the way you relate to people, man. Let me go ahead and read these last two things that I wanted to read, man, and get out of here, bro. We're gonna get back to the humanity. I'm back on ABC News Go, and this is what one of Brent's friends said. You have this period of time where the police are doing their investigation, working through the evidence and trying to find and apprehend the perpetrator. And meanwhile, TikTok, and that's what he said, but insert all of the platforms, is running rampant with every theory, every possible speculation about the case, and this is creating a lot of chaos within the community, said Adam Golub, an American Studies professor at California State University, Fullerton, who studies the link between true crime and entertainment. I lied. Remember I said sometimes I say stuff that just isn't true? This article details some statements from his friends, and that's why I thought this one was that I picked out to read, but it wasn't. This is from a professor. I want to read part of that again. TikTok and all of the platforms run rampant with every theory, every possible speculation about the case, insert cases. And this is creating, and it creates, a lot of chaos within the community, guys. Fullerton studies the link between true crime and entertainment. Don't let your entertainment preferences bleed into your reality about what's going on with real human beings. It's okay to have your entertainment preferences. It's not okay to let that color how you relate to real human tragedy. That in itself is a tragedy, guys. Let me read this last damn thing so we can get out of here, because we're talking about Brent in this video. So you remember that this was a real human being, whatever you think about him, whether he was tied to the Idaho 4 case or not. Brent was born on October the 4th, 1986. He was the oldest sibling to Tori L. David, Zachary J. Kopacka, Ethan J. K., Evan M. K., and Elwin Q. K. His father is John F. K. His mother is Darcy Nixon. His stepfather is David Nixon, and his stepmother is Dawn K. Brent was also an uncle to 3 nephews and 1 niece. We're talking about real people, guys. I hate to sound like I'm this old my Mother Teresa in male form type of guy, because that's not who I am. I'm as human as everybody else. I do BS. I do stuff I ain't got no business doing. I have to correct myself. Sometimes I hope I get away with it. Ain't nobody walking this earth Jesus and but Jesus, right? But we can still remember that these are real people that we're dealing with and talking about. They're not caricatures, or however you say that word. They don't, they don't get killed in a movie, in a cartoon, and come back to life later, man. They're real people, man. Not just Brent, but Brian, but the 4 victims in this case. And every case you're gonna hear about, even Dylan and Bethany, man, or Steve G. Everybody involved is a real person. Speculate, man. Do what you do, but just like, try to do it in a balanced way. Like, put yourself in their shoes and then act like they were speculating about you. How would you want that to be handled, man? I don't know if Brent was involved. My final, thoughts on this, guys, is that I don't see a connection whatsoever, and I agree with Jesse that we should let the facts lead us to the suspects, not the other way around. Y'all be safe. Innocent until.